All right. What's up, people? See I'm going live on there.
Huh?
No, phone. It let me know I'm going live. So, I should do it on Facebook Live too.
Taking a picture.
We'll do this as a warm up. Then we go on Facebook Live. So this is gonna save it to YouTube a little bit, and then some people are watching now, but Facebook Live give more interaction.
That plastic right there. That plastic right there.
Sure. Yeah. That's good. Like. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So this is just a testing with my uncle Sean. See what's up.
What's going on?
Like, oh yeah.
That glare out.
Let's see. There we go. Make it a little dark. Cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
All right. So we're just gonna.
Oh, that's not cool.
No, turn
Still light there.
Let's turn down the light. Too good. All right.
Sure.
All right. So I just want to do a real quick practice. He's gonna start doing live stream and podcast. So look out for my uncle Sean. So I just want to talk about a little bit about I titled it. It's the enemy, not the enemy. I'm saying it again. It's not the enemy. It's the enemy. Sometimes we always want to blame the devil for everything, but a lot of times it's us. It's that we are drawn away by our own lust, the things that we have inside, and we can't always point to blame like the devil made me do it. Like Flip Wilson said, we got to be able to be accountable and be subject to, telling our brother and sister the things that are going on with us. And we can't always say that the devil told us to do this. And in reality, the devil can't make you do anything. He can only really suggest things, and he can twist things up. But at the end of the day, it's you, the one that's turn that TV on. It's you, the one that's consuming that food and consuming that thing. You're the one that's going out to do things. He only could suggest things. And we, all of a sudden, when we're in a bad state at the end, we like, how do we get this way? But we're the ones that really allow things to come in through our eyes, through our the hearing, and we end up in a bad state. And it's not the enemy's doing. Now, there are things that the enemy can entice and can suggest, but at the end of the day, when we lay our head at night, we're the ones that are being affected by what we allow. Do you agree with that? Things that we are tempted with, is it something that it's brand new, or something that basically it's almost like we kind of flirt with temptation, period, in this life. We flirt with temptation, and it's been there. There's what Ecclesiastes says, there's nothing new under the sun. So there's nothing new, no new temptation that you never had, has been done before. But it's not a sin to be tempted, but the sin is when we engage in that action into that temptation. Do you want to say about that?
That's right. Thank you. No, I want to try to slow my. Sometimes I think faster than I talk faster than I think, so I want to try to slow everything down so I can articulate what I want to say. Just to add on to Chuck, I call him Chuck. You guys call him Charles. Just to add on, I may repeat some things he said. But let's lust, for instance. If you see a woman and you love women, especially if you like a sexaholic and you pursue that woman, then it's not anything the devil put in your way. It's you. I'm going to say it like this. A long time ago, my pastor said, you can appreciate art. I mean, you can look at a woman and say, oh, she's beautiful. And you can just keep on moving. But if you do that triple take, then you're going beyond just appreciating the art.
Right.
You're starting to think about it. The more you think about it, it gets in your heart. And when stuff starts getting in your heart, then you want to act on it. It's not the devil putting it in your heart. He can't put it. He can't make you do it. It's you allowing yourself or allowing the moment to get so in you that you want to act on it. And as you said before, it's not the temptation of the woman, is that you looking a few times and then it's in your heart, then you now turn around and you're going to act on it.
Right.
Stuff such as that is what you have that desire to do. And instead of leaving the temptation, as the Bible say, flee.
Right. Flee.
Run. Don't stay there. Don't decide. Don't say, should I go? Should I stay? Flee. It's a moment. Flee. Instead of you doing that, you double back and you can run to it and not run away from it.
Right. It's like when you start engaging. It's almost like when it says in Psalms 1, when it says, "Blessed the man that walketh not in the seat, counsel and godly." But it's like almost where if you stare, if it's almost like you stare, then you start to contemplate, and then you start thinking, and then you start meditating. Then you start, now it went from a glance to a stare, from a stare to a thought, and the thought to go in your heart, and now you're fantasizing, and you stayed in that conversation, you stayed in that environment too long, and now it's a seed that's been planted in your heart, and now it's festering. So now the next thing is, okay, now I'm fantasizing, now it's in my mind. Okay, now it needs to be in action. And a lot of times when it says when we speak things to existence, and the thing about it is, if we speak, well, I want this type of woman, and we complain, or anything we do, it's in the air. And once things are in the air, the enemy has access to it. So if you eat, that's why it's like, even you gotta be careful how we complain, or what we say, what we do, because once it comes out your mouth, now he has access. Devil have access to try to create. Oh, you like this type of person? You like this type of person? So now I'm gonna go ahead and form it and allow that. And then now you think that person that says, "Oh, she's of God" or "he's of God," it's not that. It's just he knows what you like now for the fact that you're speaking upon things. And now it's like, oh, I know he's from the Lord, and she noticed that. And now it looks nice, but it's really basically a sheep in wolf's clothing, because you spoke it so much. And that goes into, like I said, when you stay in a conversation too long, you speak too much about it, and now it's right in front of your face. And then now you come to falling, and now you come to, it goes on and on and on. But I say again, you attack it on sight when you see it. Like Uncle Sean said, keep moving, don't flee. It says flee for a reason.
Run. It says run.
It says flee. They don't say stay there and chill and try to, like, oh, well, I wonder. And especially when you are in your low points in life, it's like the enemy. The enemy, he's slick. But if you are in a weak state if it's in your marriage, or if it's in your regular life, you had a weak spot where you things are not, it's up and down, then the perfect opportunity is to sin, the person or the temptation there, and it's easy to fall that way for the fact that you already complaining, you already got mad or whatever, and you fall into some type of temptation at your weakest point. And that's where a lot of people fall at, is when they're not strong enough and not recognizing well, I need to flee. Flee was put in the Bible there for a reason, not to chill.
And I do think that you can be tempted by the devil. Yeah. He can bring people in your life to kind of push you towards or push you over. You can, like for me, drugs is not my thing, so he's not going to tempt me in that area. I have nothing to do with that. But where I'm weak, and he knows where you're weak at. Mm-hmm. It's like someone who studies human nature, in a sense, and he can pinpoint. Like Chuck said, if you speak it, as long as you don't say nothing, he can't read minds. He don't have that power. But if you say it, then you are putting it out there, and he can watch and see. Okay, I can get him with that one. Mm-hmm. I can get him with that one. And then when he gets you to that point, and you can be strong enough to overcome certain temptations, but like you said again, you get to that weak moment. It's like you just got to say that one thing or push them just so close to make you yourself want to jump over and grab whatever is tempting you and just latch on. So you always won. You always, how you say, you got to be prayed up.
Prayed up.
You always got to stand in the word because God doesn't tempt you to do wrong.
Right.
So he brings things back to your memory, scripture back to your memory. He always leaves it out. So even if you add temptation or there's something tempting you, there is an out.
It says that for every temptation, there's a way of what? Way of escape. And sometimes the way of escape is not to even go to that party, not even to scroll, not to even zoom in, not to even go to some pages. The temptation, if God said there's a way of escape, that means there's an out somewhere. It means that there's no temptation that's so much where you can't handle it. It said that, but there's an exit. It's kind of when you go to a building, you already see the exit signs. So there's a fire. Your job already prepare you. Okay, if there's a fire, you have an escape route. And God's saying the same thing. If the temptation and get to the point where you cannot bear it, there is an escape route. A phone call will ring. Oh, you got to get home, or there's something will happen where you might get sick, or you may say, you know what, you have a feeling in your chest, whatever. I got to get out of here. A nervous feeling. There is warning signs that there's escape routes that he has planted in every temptation. So you can't never say, well, I didn't know that was coming. I didn't see. It's almost like premeditated murder. When you premeditate, you plan it out. God already planned things out for your success during temptation. He said there's exits. You just got to pay attention to it, and it's there. But a lot of times we just if we be real and honest, sometimes we already premeditated sin. We come up with an alibi. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And if this person does this, I'm gonna say this. If I get caught, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna do this. So then you premeditate the sin. You think so much hard of your escape routes or what your alibis, and then when you fall to, then you have the nerve to feel guilty when you get caught up. But you already knew this is gonna happen. So it's like, why flirt? Why flirt with number one, your soul? And why flirt with hurting people? Why flirt with, and God already said, look, what's someone say? There's exits all around you, but just gotta pay attention to the warning signs. And God put it out there for you.
Yeah.
So just anything else, we want to wrap it up. We're gonna hop on Facebook Live. If you want to say anything else, just real quick. Good job, though.
Oh.
It's a spare of the moment thing with him. So I like getting ready.
Just this is going to be off subject. I've been telling Chuck that I do want to start a YouTube page. I've been watching a lot of YouTubers. That's something I want to do. I've been telling like, man, I'm trying to find my lane because there's a lot of repeat topics or repeat YouTubes out here. And I want to find some that's in my lane and do it. And Chuck is trying to encourage me, man, you just got to get out there and do it. You can't just, sometimes it ain't going to work out the way you want to. You just got to, as you start, you can kind of learn building blocks. So I'm just trying to.
You get it.
He asked me, "You bold? How bold are you?"
Let's go.
I was like, I kind of knew, like, oh, okay, it's going somewhere.
Let's go. So it was like, yeah, stay a lookout for my aunt.
Oh yeah, and you guys already seen this before. Man, that's love right there, man.
All the way from KC.
Born and raised.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're just going to hop on Facebook Live for part 2 of this.
So part 2 already?
Part 2. Yeah, part 2 of Facebook Live. And we'll see you soon. God bless. Talk to you later. All right, we out.
You have any questions?